Hi everybody, this is Nicole. Thank you for joining me tonight. I haven't painted it in a while on camera at least, but I have been painting without the camera. So I'm still being a little bit active, but not for the camera, I'm afraid. So anyway, tonight I wanted to work on making or at least starting a collage with you. And so I'm going to do a few pieces. The colors that I'm going to be working with are mostly pinks, maybe a little bit of greens, and black and white. So I wanted to start out with just using some carbon black. And what I'm going to do is make a few pieces that are similar. Well, they're going to be actually kind of the same as this. So these are just, I think I did a video previously where I made some of these little pieces for collage. And basically this is just some tea bag paper that I bought. And it's very thin and transparent, not transparent, translucent. So when you glue it onto your canvas, the paper does end up virtually disappearing. You can still kind of see it depending on how you cut it, but we'll be doing that too. So we're gonna make some of these pieces. I'm gonna make some in some different colors as well. And then we'll be on our way. I was so lucky that I got this golden brand green gold paint. I got it for a cheap price of $30 because I went to the Blick outlet store in Galesburg, Illinois. And this was the only bottle they had back in their outlet part, so I grabbed it. I was actually there buying a smaller, I think it was the 4-ounce bottle. I was buying a small 4-ounce bottle for about 20 bucks, and I saw this big one for 30, and I'm like, I'm gonna take that. So I got it, I lucked out. So we're gonna use that too a little bit. So right here, I've got the quinacridone magenta, the one that I like to use a lot. I use that all the time, I think. And I'm also going to be using the Titan Green Pale, which is just that pale color right there. And then for the black, I'm just going to use, this is kind of worn off on the label, but I'm just going to use Carbon Black by Nova Color, just because I can dip it right out of the jar. And then I might add a couple other colors for when I do the painting, but we'll see. And basically, I mean, this is just easy, you know, it's easy, but it's kind of soothing too at the same time, just to do repetition. And this is really easy. It's kind of fun to do just a little bit of repetition sometimes, and get into a little bit of a rhythm. So I'm just kind of loading up my little brush here. And I just paint a few circles. And they don't have to be perfect. I mean, this is still art. You don't need perfection. And you can cut them out individually, or you can cut them out in a group. I think I tend to do a group of three or 5, depending on what I'm doing. One, two. A few more over this side. Sometimes it's just good for your head and good for your mindset to just do some simple, easy projects. And it's kind of a little bit of maintenance. I guess not really maintenance, but preparation. It's a little bit of preparation, but it's not tedious, I don't think. I think it's just a good rhythm, and it's soothing. That's what it is to me. Make some smaller circles too. Okay, I'm gonna do some other shapes too. I think I want to do some dots. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but let's do some lines just for fun too. I should probably check and make sure I'm in the camera here. Oh, I'm good. Okay. Good. Good, good. Yeah, these are just all going to be components. I mean, if you want to make zigzaggies or scroll designs, a scroll pattern, those are nice too. And another good part of doing it this way, rather than just painting it on the canvas, is you can kind of test and see where you want some of these components before you commit to actually putting them down on the canvas. Let's go sideways here. Okay, so I'm not really sure how this is going to show up on the video in the end. I've got my little ring light right above my desk here, and unfortunately it was a TV, and it's already got a short in the wire somewhere, so I'm probably about the light's probably on about halfway. I can't get it to go all the way to see right, so I've got a couple of other lights supporting me here, but it's just kind of right now with this dumb little ring light. I have to find a different one. I think once my husband is a smaller one, and not want to position on my desk like this, so I may have to just swing for a new one. We'll see. I'm looking to find a different solution that's better from lights that I already have. I have some camera, I guess they're not really professional, but when I was making jewelry and glass beads, I had a photography, it's still a home studio photography setup with a, I think it was called Easy Cube or something like that, and came with little light sets, and I made just like shop lights from my hardware store, and something like that, but those ones are such hot bulbs, and my ring light here is pretty, it's LED, so it's not wood at all. Okay, I think I wanted to just do a few little dots, but I don't know quite how to do that. Maybe I'll do it with the tip of a brush, like that. Just like the back end of a brush, see? See how that looks. I don't know if that's gonna work out. When I pop it up, it looks like there's a divot leaving a little bubble right in the middle, so it's gonna, the bubble will probably pop and have a little white spot in the middle. We'll see. Let me find a different circle source. We'll just finish this row and see how that goes. 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're not perfect. They're not the same size. I mean, they're all different. Okay. And I think there is beauty in imperfection. Now I still like symmetry. And if it's not symmetrical, it has to at least be balanced. So you still want to have a good balance in your work, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I just wanted to get a couple of other colors down, just so I can, I don't know, just to have a couple of fields of color in case I wanted to do something else on the canvas. So we'll do a couple of the green. And then maybe a couple of the other colors as well. I'm gonna push my paints up so I have a little bit more room. And the acrylic paints, of course, dry pretty quickly unless you have little globs of paint. Those will take a little bit longer, of course, but they dry pretty quickly, especially on this paper, I think. Okay, now the magenta, I think I kind of need to mix with the white because the magenta is transparent. And let's see how it looks without the, well, it's a little bold there, isn't it? It's quite a bold color. We'll leave that one, see how that goes. Let me add a little white too, just for kicks. It's for a little fun. We'll do a light pink one. There. Get a little streak in there. Okay, I do like that one better. It's not as dark, but it pops a lot more with the white in there. Okay, I'm gonna do some of the other green too as well, just for kicks. Maybe I'll do a wide circle or something, or a rectangle. Let's do a rectangle. Get that pink out of there. I did add a little white to that one too. I think it's a little bit, it's transparent as well. There. Okay, I'm gonna let all these dry for a little bit. I'm gonna get my little canvas out, and it's just gonna be a 12 by 12 canvas that I got from Blick. It's I love the 12 by 12 canvases. They've got about a depth, I think, of about 1.5 or 1.25 inches. I don't remember. Well, let's see what it says. 1.5 profile. And then I will get that ready, and then we'll get ready to cut these. I'll cut these out, and then we'll get ready to do the canvas in the next section. All right, I'm back here with my canvas. My collage pieces are still drying, but I just wanted to get started on the collage part, the background. I'm going to use the same color palette that we were using for the collage pieces, and I'm also going to include black in there. I don't think there are any other colors I need to. Oh, I was also going to experiment with, I got some, when I was at the Blick outlet store, I also got some of this acrylic ink, and that's a magenta color. It's kind of, I think it kind of leans a little bit red, but we'll see how it goes. It's a little bit more red than the quinacridone magenta paint. So we'll play with that a little bit and see. And let's go. I think I'm going to just start like I usually do with just a little mark making with my, this is getting worn down, my Prismacolor Ebony pencil, a jet black, sorry, my finger. You know, I haven't done nails in a while. I've got ink, paint all over my nails. It just seems useless to get a manicure at this point. But I should have lotioned up to at least make the paint come off easier. I didn't. Oh well. That's how you know a good artist is they've got paint all over. I've got green and white. Okay, so we're going to be starting the mark making with the Prismacolor Ebony pencil in jet black. And I kind of feel like I got... You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I got another kind of graphite or something from the Blick store, and I don't know what I did with it. I don't know if I actually bought it, actually. But I'm also going to be using the Sakura solid marker. And it comes in black and white, and I'll probably use white toward the end. I like to have the white scribbles on the top, so we'll see. I also have these tempera paint sticks. There's a rainbow of colors. I'm not sure if that pink's going to go or not. Maybe let's try the greens too, just to see how those look. You can always cover them up if you don't like them, so we'll see. And I'll show you what they look like. Let's see. It's just a colorful paint stick, and it dries relatively quickly, but it's not, I don't think it's water permeable. I think once it dries, it's solid for good. So you don't have to worry about it smearing like we do with the Stabilo woody pencils. So put that away. You know what, I might try these out on my paper towel just for kicks. There's the green, dark green. Yeah. Okay, so it's pretty much just how it looks on the tube there. It's about the same color, a little bit lighter than that. And then the pink, we'll see if that pink is really that bright. Oh, I actually like that pink a lot, so I'm sure I'll use that. Okay. I'll set those off to the side. Okay. Just a little bit of mark making just to start a rhythm here. I've heard other artists referring to this as activating the canvas. I'm not sure that I'm doing that. I'm just kind of getting into a rhythm, getting into a feel. And it's going to be loud probably because of the mic, and I'll make sure to turn that down in editing. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of doing what I do, having fun with it. and again, well, not again, I didn't say it this time, but I've said it before. A lot of these marks are going to be covered up, so we're not even going to see most of these, but some of them might peek through, and that's kind of the hope. Just get a little bit of black on there too. Okay. And I really like these solid markers, these Sakura ones, because they do, they don't smear when I add acrylic paint or water. Get a couple of darker spots here and there. Alrighty. Okay, what do we want to do now? I think we want to just get some, I probably should have applied a base coat first. That's probably what I should have done. So I guess we're just going to go with a raw, a raw gesso color base, because I forgot to do a gray base. This is what I usually do, is a gray or a beige. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with white. The gesso color, it's not, and it's not really white. I mean, this is what the white's gonna look like on it. And so it's, I guess it is kind of white, isn't it? It kind of blends. Okay. So never mind, that was just nonsense I was just talking about. Okay. Start with, we'll start with the lighter green, just for kicks. Get on some of the edges, and don't want to cover up everything, just want to and you know, if I do cover up a little bit too much, I've always got this cool little, it's a catalyst wedge. I don't know how many shapes there are. There's the letter on here is W06. I also have this one. This one I'm not sure. I think I've kind of worn this one out. It's more of a hard, brittle plastic. It's also by Catalyst, and I think it's like C81 or 86 or something. I can't really read the number because of the paint, but it's just a smaller, harder plastic one. And they're good for, I think this, I would use that for more textured paint. But the silicone one, it just really picks up the paint very well like that. See how now I can see it all the way through. And just pick it up and lay it back down. And it does seem to be smearing the graphite a little bit as I do that, so I'm probably gonna do it more, I guess. I wasn't gonna say that, but just apply with the wedge. I actually like that a lot. It kind of washes away, kind of like when I spray it with water. Only I'm not getting the runny drips like I like to. I might try that just for kicks, maybe with a different color. Okay. Well, today is Tuesday, and I had to work today, and I worked probably until almost 6. I don't usually do that, but we have a busy day with some cases that we've got going on with a few of the attorneys that I'm working for. So it's been a little bit crazy. So it's just really nice to be able to go downstairs, have dinner, and then come back up to paint and have some peace and just have my mind rest. It's a happy place. Sound like Bob Ross. It's my little happy place. Okay, let's get a different color on there just for kicks. We can do some... Let's do some of the pink. Pink and white. Give you a little... Picked up a little white on my brush so we can kind of blend it a little bit and see what that does. And I probably am going to do a little bit of water to make it drippy because I like that effect. I don't know why. I like it. I just do. So I'm not going to argue with it or fight it. I'm just going to go with it. Maybe get some more of the darker pink up there. And then unfortunately, just because I've got the one camera on today, I only have to, I'll have to lift up the canvas a little bit to do the dripping. So I'm going to get some paper towels underneath the canvas first, otherwise I'm going to have a big old mess. Big old mess. Let's see, I don't need that many. Okay, so usually on my easel I'll just tuck under the canvas. Do that here too. And I'm going to get a little paint container to prop it up a little bit, and that way I've got a little angle to let it drip. My bottle go, there we go. Let's see what you can see here. Oh, you can see a little bit, okay. I just have my little low power bottle sprayer. The one for my bigger paintings that I use is this heavy duty one, and it's got a really great jet. So I can stand back really far, but it also makes a really big splatter. Yeah, I'm splattering paint all over the back here. Okay. And I'm going to get a little bit of white in there too right now for kicks. Let the white run. Now I think what I should have done is I should have applied the paint probably down here and then sprayed above it. And then that way I'd still get the drips, but I wouldn't get the splattering because I'm not spraying water directly on the paint. So that's probably what I should have done, and now you know better. I know better, I just didn't do it. Okay. Get a little bit more of the excess off. And then I'm going to shut the video off for a sec while I blow dry this. Or I'm going to just let it dry a little bit and then let it drip a little bit more. Let it dry a little bit and then I'll blow dry it. And you don't need to watch all that. So I'll see you on the other side. Alrighty, I'm back. Let's do, hold on. There. Alrighty, I'm back. And my painting is dry, or the backdrop for my painting is dry, and the collage pieces that I painted are also dry. So I'll show you what those look like. I did cut them out as well, so let's move that. Okay, so here's what we got from those tea bag paper drawings. And of course, I mentioned that when you apply them to the painting, the white part will disappear because it's pretty translucent. And so we're just going to use those pieces to, let's see, what else did I do? I kept that one as in twos. I've got, oh, the polka dots. I did the polka dots, and then we did some lines as well. Oh, I've got lines back there, and then just some smaller circles that I already had made. So those are going to be used to help build up the layer, and I do want to lighten it up a little bit on the painting. So I'm going to add some white and maybe do a white glaze or veil, something like that. We'll use the wedge and see if we can spread a little white on to cover that dark pink and make it a little bit lighter. Okay, let me get that back here. Make sure I've got it in a good spot. You can see that okay? Okay. Alrighty. So let's get the wedge. I've got the white paint. I think I'm just gonna pour it right on the, smear it up a little bit that way. And this is the golden, I don't think I showed you this, but it's just golden titanium white. And I also use the Nova Color brand as well. This is the liquid or the fluid acrylic. I do use the heavy acrylic. I've got a little jar of the heavy acrylic that I use because it's thicker and it dries. Well, I guess it doesn't have any change in the dry time, but it's thicker, so I can get a little texture if I want. So I'm just kind of smear that and see how that goes. And then I think I might add a little bit more water to thin it out a little bit more. I got a little bit too much on there. So let's get some of it at the top. And then maybe get a little of the dark of the, oh, where'd that other green go? The pale green. Smear a little bit of that on there too. I think I want that much of that. And then we're almost halfway into the week this week since it's Tuesday, but I hope that you had a good weekend. I don't think I was very productive. I still have my Christmas tree up. I was going to take it down, and then one day I decided I'm going to paint instead, so I kept it up instead. And I still have not put it away because every night I say, I'm going to paint. And so I do. And things get neglected, I'm afraid. Okay, and I'm going to maybe get a little light pink in there too, just to... Okay. Yeah, this is looking pretty ugly, I think, right now, but I think it'll look good in a little bit. Especially once we get a little bit more mark making on there, and then once we get the pieces, the collage pieces on, I think it'll look really nice. Let's try this, see how that... Get it to run a little bit that way and then back. See, I'm getting a little carried away with this. It's a little crazy. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry again and see how that goes. And then when I come back on the other side, we can worry about some mark making. I'm gonna also charge my phone a little bit while this dries up. And so I'm going to put this on pause and I will see you in just a little bit. All right, so I've got this canvas dry now. I did play with it a little bit more. I used the wedge and then used a little bit of the white paint and just kind of added a few extra smears like that. I did also do a little bit of the drip with the gold, green gold paint. So I'm sorry I did that without you. But I think we're at a point now where we can kind of try to position. Oh, I think I was going to do some mark making first, a little bit more of the black or white. What should we do? What should we do? Let's do some of the white because it's kind of so black and or dark and busy right now. And I think get a little bit more black in there too because it's showing through, so might as well darken it, right? I'll get a little bit of black. Got a little bit of black there. Just a little bit down here. A little bit there. Okay, so we've got a few little bits of black. We're going to add more black with the collage pieces as well, so we don't need to worry about that so much. And let's see, this pink. I don't think I need to use that really. It's just a nice pink. I could use the white. I think I have that tempera stick in white as well. I could use that. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Just to cover up some of the too dark spots that are too dark. And smear it a little. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure I'm going to like this one, but hey, we're having fun, right? I hope you had a chance to make some art this weekend or this week. I hope you have a chance to do it this week because, you know, that silly groundhog saw more winter coming. I'm kind of sick of this cold weather. And I think painting is a great diversion from it. Okay, sorry for the noise. Let's kind of lay down some pieces and see what we want to do with this, with the collage. If we want to do anything. I do. Okay. Let's see. We can also stack, you know, ooh, that's an idea. You could stack the black pieces over a colored piece. I'm not going to use them all. I think it gets a little bit too much if you have too many things going on. You could also, you know, easily have other elements of collage paper as well, like some tattered prints or like old book pages or printed napkins. Oh, here's my, sorry, I'm looking in my drawers. I'm talking here. I found some newspaper. I have old Yahtzee scorecards. I'll show you those in a sec. Let me get that open. Okay, so some ideas when you're doing collage. I don't even know where I found this. It's like old Yahtzee scorecards. I might have just bought it at a thrift store. It's like an old travel Yahtzee game, but I don't have the dice. I just have the scorecards. So that would be cute and something. Not necessarily what I'm doing right now. Obviously, there's the traditional newspaper cutouts. Here's a headline that says Notre Dame de Paris. Ooh, that's kind of... I feel like I would need more related to Notre Dame or to Paris on here if I add that. So I'm not going to use that this time. I bought a cheap crossword puzzle book and cut out some crossword puzzles. Those could be good pieces. The crossword puzzle clues. Another thing that I did is I found a whole bunch of quotes that I really liked and just printed them out on printer paper. Ooh, that one's about art. That one's about making the world a better place. Ooh, let's... Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We could use one of those. Those would fit. The happy solitary is central to the art of loving. When we can be alone, we can be with others without using them as a means of escape. Oh, I don't think I can live that one out. So let's use the Rosa Parks one. And she says, I believe we are here on the planet Earth to live, grow up, and do what we can to make this world a better place for all people to enjoy freedom. That seems a little bit relevant right now, so I think I'm going to use that one. I'm not going to use the crossword puzzle pieces. I think I'm not going to use these either because I think that's a little bit too harsh of a line. I think maybe if I had a bolder color, I'd probably like darker colors like a blue or red or just more dark palette. I'd probably, or more primary palette, I might use that. But it just seems too heavy for that. So I think here's the light pink one. I probably should have done white. I should have done a couple in white just for kicks. But I do really like this green. So let's see. We've got enough pink on there. Let's try to middle, bottom, or top, or maybe kind of partial right there. Kitty. My cat just walked in. He's been kind of needy. He's about, what's he? He was born in 2014, so he's going on 12 years old right now, and he's a Singapore cat, which I had this silly idea it would be fun to show cats, so I bought a Singapore purebred cat and showed him, and he got his grand premiere title. But I'm not sure that Singaporeans really tend to live very long, probably because they're a little bit inbred because they're purebreds. So, but he's having some tummy issues, so we need to get him to the vet this week. Okay, I really liked the black over the green there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to paint the green directly on the canvas because, I mean, why not? I mean, then I can put the black over the paint. And I don't know if I want the squares there or not. I do kind of like them. And the squares, they got kind of some of the paint splatter when I was spraying the canvas because they were kind of off to the side. So maybe I'll use a couple of these with the dots. And I don't even have to use all of the dots. I can cut them up a little bit too. Don't have to be in a good rectangle either. Why don't we kind of cut them out a little bit. Sorry, I'm holding it close to me and I don't think you can see off camera like that. So I just kind of cut it into little pieces. So I could glue it on like that if I wanted to, but I could also Something more like that. Oh, I like that. Okay. Kind of gives me a little bit of an 80s vibe. Maybe put that over there. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to paint this Titan green pale on directly onto the canvas, and then I'll dry it with a hairdryer because that'll go fast. I think I liked that over here, so don't want that big of a brush though. Let's use this one. And then as far as the gluing this down is concerned, I'll show you that in just a little bit. Get a little white in there just for kicks as well. Just for a little. Ooh, got some gold. Okay. I'm going to blow dry that real quick, and I'll turn it down for the video. Oh, I gotta hold that down or else it'll go flying. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of white in there too, just to give it a little bit of boost. Or a little bit of, that had blue in it, I like that. Whoops. Okay, now I'm going to paint over that one because I had blue and I don't want blue in there. Okay, so I'm just going to paint that real quick. Let's paint that real quick. Just to cover up that blue, really. There, and I got a little bit of a striation there. Should have done that from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to blow dry that again just to make it quick. Alrighty. Okay, I think we're good. Let's see. Let's get these back into position. And so, like I said, I think I just printed this quote out onto regular printer paper, and it looked like it was on a landscape setting because it's just about 11 inches long. So, I just tore it. I think I cut them in wider strips and then tore them just to give it a little bit of a rough edge. I don't know, because I guess I've got a little bit of a rough edge. Okay, so we're going to put that there, and we're going to put the circles there. I can do one more. More like that to bring your eye back in. Okay. Maybe a smaller one. Let's do a smaller one. Okay, and so what do you think? Are we yay or nay on the green rectangles? I think I'm yay on them, and then I think we could probably paint over them too a little bit with to give them a little layer of lighter pink over that. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do that one. Like that, maybe? I think maybe I want to cut that corner piece off. There. Glue that somewhere else, maybe. And sorry, I'm trying to mumble, and I apologize for that. I'm trying not to. I think we wanted that like that, and then kind of like that a little bit. A stray dot, and then I think we can do one more little circle just for kicks. Oh, there, right up there. How that look? That looks pretty balanced, I think. I think that looks a little balanced. Okay. Okay, so as far as glue is concerned, I'm going to be using, I've got this little silicone spreader thing. I don't even know what it's called, but it's got kind of a beveled edge. This is 2 inches wide. I've got paint on it. But the glue, I'm going to move my paint for a moment. Thank you. Is actually a soft gel gloss medium by Golden. And I've actually mixed this with a little bit of water, so it's runny. And okay, and the bad thing about this is if you get it around the edge, it's impossible to open. So I'm going to struggle with this for just a minute. There, got it. Okay. So you can kind of see how runny that is just because I've added some water to it to thin it out. Okay, so I'm going to get these other pieces out so I don't mess those up either. Okay, so the way we apply well, I've got a smaller wedge too. That'll work probably a little bit better for the smaller pieces. Okay, so basically what I do is I just get a little bit of the glue onto my tool, spread it down on the painting, put the piece onto the glue. I'm going to do this whole section here too. I don't know how that is. Okay. I think right about there. Is that where we had it? Okay. And then I still have some of the glue on the tool, whatever that's called. I'll have to look that up. That's going to bother me. This one's a smaller one. It's about 1 inch wide. You just kind of do the same. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to press the air out. So you kind of go from all directions and try to just smooth it out. And you can see that green showing through. Anywhere you see, like I can kind of see that the edges, it's not necessarily lifted, but I can kind of see it. I'm going to try to press that down a little bit. But the point is you want to get the air out from underneath it. Otherwise, you're going to have awful bubbles, and those aren't very easy to get back up. Just get some more of the glue on top of this one. Spread it out. I should be using my bigger tool. And you can see it's already wrinkling because I wasn't fast enough here. So let's just start from the middle and go out to the edge. Looks like it's puckered a little bit, I'm afraid. Oh, okay. So we might have to do a little bit of creative. Oh, I think I can get them out. I'm going to say if you get bubbles at the end, you might have to end up popping them. Okay, so I think I've got that pretty smooth. Nope, I still have bubbles. Yeah, so it's like kind of puckering, like kind of right in here and then around here. So anytime I'm getting that bubble, it's kind of just moving the bubble around underneath. I can kind of see that go if I go too hard. I think I've got it down flat now. So, okay, so what I'm going to do, wipe the glue off quickly. Otherwise, it's not going to come off. It will, but it'll be impossible. It won't be impossible. That's my point. It'll be difficult. We'll say that. I'm going to take my bigger one and just kind of scrape the excess glue off here. Yeah, I'm still getting that pucker bubble. Okay, but you can see how it, that green is just showing very nicely through that paper, and you can still see the paper around it. That's okay. That's the whole point of mixed media, is you're mixing up different kinds of media. I think I scraped some of that paint off actually. But yeah, it looks like we got the pucker out. So let's see, we'll hope it dries like that. So, okay, so layers. So let's first take that one off. Need to put that down first and then that down first. So we'll do the bottom underneath. Some glue there. And actually I'm gonna, just so I don't get those puckers, I'm gonna just put the coat over it right now. Not do everything at once. Okay, we got that. Let's get this piece down. I don't know if it's going to be in the right spot, but we're going to go try. Here we go. Get this little dot down here too, just for kicks. Oh. Okay. That little dot wants to just move all over the place. Okay, maybe that was too small. I don't know. Just gonna get some more glue over here because we have that other square coming up and the other dots. Get some more glue on there. I don't know if I should let this dry first before adding the other layers. I'm not going to, but I guess we'll live and learn and see what happens. I'm gonna get that glue off first before I do anything else. Okay, let's get this. I don't remember how we had, I think we had it up here like that, but let's do it right there. I think I need a little bit more glue underneath here, actually. There we go. And just start, like I said, we're going to start at the middle and go out. That's going to help get bubbles out. Make sure it dries well. Got a little bit of overlap here. I'm not very crazy about that. See if we can move it down a little bit. There's a little bit of playtime with this, so if I have to move it over, that's fine. Lift that one up over here and pull it gently. There. I don't have that overlap with those two pieces, but I have to get air out again. And starting in the middle. And I don't know if you can see, remember I said before we had those little bubbles. They're being stinkers. Oh, I got a bubble there. A glue bubble. That one, I'm going to actually lift that part up and go again with that. I think I still have playtime left with that. There we go. I think I've got something trapped underneath there. I'm kind of thinking I should have cut maybe the holes out of these shapes. Okay, let's get this last shape on. I don't remember where we wanted that one. I was going to go over. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start in the middle to squeeze the bubbles out and go out to the edges. And that also squeezes out the excess glue. Just kind of going in a little wedge. You're starting at the center and going out. Okay, I think those are good. I can see a little bit of buckling right here on this edge. I don't think I'm going to be able to help that very much. I think the more I work it, the worse it's going to get. So let's just try to scrape off some of that excess glue again. I'm going to use the bigger tool for that. Oh, I forgot about this one. It needs a little glue on top, I think. I don't remember if I did that or not, but a little bit more can't hurt, right? Okay, there we go. And that one seems to be drying fine. It's not buckling like I thought it was going to. I think I got the air out pretty well. But yeah, this one's got a little bubble, so those little bubbles on top that kind of just dried, so they're a little bit bumpy there, and that's why this is kind of looking a little funny. But okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, let's get a little bit more. Okay. Okay, let's get that top layer. I don't like that one either. Darn it all. Okay. All right. And see, I could have, all this stuff, I could have easily just painted directly onto the canvas, but I think the thing I like about using the tea bag paper to paint the shapes onto is that I can reposition them and try them out and test it and see how I like it, like we were doing a few minutes ago. I think I said I was going to add a little bit of pink, lighter pink just around here somewhere. We'll figure that out in a little bit. I don't remember, but I was going to use that. I don't think I was going to use that big circle, was I? I don't think I need to. Could put a bigger one up there, maybe the smaller one down here. I don't want to be too matchy-matchy though either, so let's just keep the smaller one up there. And then we'll add some white mark making up here, some of the little scribbles up here. Maybe I'll do that before. Oops, sorry. I just hit the light with my head. Okay. Let's get the pink and the quote down first, and then I'll do the mark making, because then we can go right into the pink. Oh, yay, I like that. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put that here. That is going to go right here. That's about a third down, maybe a little bit less than a third. Not quite a quarter, though. And let's get some glue down here. I like this white and I like this black here, but I think I mentioned in a previous video, you don't want to make anything too precious. You have to be willing to kill the parts that you like, or that you love even, just to make the whole piece better. Just because you like one piece doesn't mean keeping it's going to be a good thing for your art. I mean, maybe it will, I don't know, but get some glue down. There we go. Okay. Start in the middle and go out. Get the bubbles out. like I'm kind of worn out some of the paper that, oh, no, that's glue bits. Okay, let's see. I thought I wore out some of the paper, but I think I've just got some little glue bits that kind of dried onto the tool. Scraper? Is it a scraper? I don't know what it's called. Okay, and then we had the quote, so I'm going to get some more glue down. I don't know how much I need. Yes, those bits there. I've got some dried up bits. Okay. And this one, because it's a little heavier paper rather than the tissue, get the glue off for now. I'm gonna I put a little bit more glue on. I want to bring it down. I think we're pretty centered. Better look at it from the top. Sorry, make sure it's straight. At least relatively straight. I think it looks pretty good. Okay. Okay, well, I guess if you don't have one of those silicone tools, your fingers will do, huh? I think we're going to put the circle up here. There you go. Okay. Let's try to work our way through that and just make sure we've got all the bubbles out. But without going too hard because you don't want to pucker it, right? Bun. Okay, again, kind of doing from the center and going out again to get bubbles. Oh, you guys, I think this looks really nice. Okay. I think it'll look even better once we get some lighter pink down here. Okay, let's get this excess glue off. I'm just going to gently scrape it off. Okay, well, what do you think so far? Let me know in the comments what you would have done differently, or if maybe I should have added another color, like maybe turquoise or something. Oh, that would have been nice too. Pink and turquoise. We'll have to do another one. And then I didn't even use the magenta ink. It's acrylic ink. So I didn't use that. That's okay. We're fine without it. You don't have to use everything. Sometimes things can be a little too much. So, okay, I need to get some white and pink back on my plate. I still have a bunch of pink, so let's just get some white over here. No, that was a little too much. I had a little clog and just kind of spurted out. Alrighty, so pink. How light do we want to go? I want to go pretty light, actually. Okay, we can kind of do a shape like we've got there too. Cover the dot, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, but isn't that neat? I mean, that tea bag paper, it just almost disappears. I can see the edge a little bit here, but I tried to cut it close. You know, maybe I wonder if that needs to be glued more. Because you don't see it there. Maybe I got really close to the edge there. But no, it just disappears really nicely. So you can actually see I can see the canvas texture right through it. Here it's a little bit more obvious where I've double layered it, but that's okay. It's supposed to be mixed media, so. Okay, I think we got a little bit of the pink there, and we're gonna do white up there, weren't we? I do think I want a little bit of the pink up here too, though. Not sure I like that. I'm gonna wipe some of that off. Get some clean. If it's wet enough, you can easily remove it with a damp towel. And it is, so there we go. Maybe I'll just leave that blank up there. Okay, since I just got that wet, I'm going to use my blow dryer because I want to use my solid marker. So I'm just going to use the blow dryer for a minute to dry that spot. I could do like, oh, I could do like dots or something. I could do pink dots. There we go. And I'm painting right on the canvas, just like that. Happy little dots. There. Kind of think I want to add them somewhere else now too. Okay, let's do that. Let's see, because that's such a light color and it's so subtle, so I don't feel like it's distracting from the rest of the elements of this painting. So I'm just going to add. I've got a bunch up here. Well, I'm going to darken that or make that a little bit more opaque. I'm gonna, I've got a bunch of the dots up here, or squares, whatever they are. I'm just gonna add a few down here just for kicks. And it's already, make that one a little darker maybe. It's already pink here, so it's, like I said, it's not really distracting. I hope not anyway. I don't think it's distracting from the painting. Let me know what you think though. Do you know what? And anytime I'm here chatting and mumbling to myself, I really would love to hear what you think, your thoughts are in the comments. So feel free to let me know what you would do, if you would do anything different. Or if you love it or hate it, let me know that too. Hope you love it. I'm digging it. I am digging this a lot. So let's get a little bit more over here maybe. One right there. Oh yeah, because remember I said we could go right over the elements. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to dry these now and then we can do a little bit of the white paint scribbles. Okay. I've got some paint chips there that I don't like. There's like a white or green bit, and I'm not sure if that's paint, like a chip of paint, or if I scraped. I think to me it looks like a chip of the green paint. So I think there was like some dried paint somewhere, and it just got stuck there. So I'm going to paint that a little bit over just to cover that up. I do notice that I've got a couple of other splatters. Like there's a pink splatter there and there from when I was doing the spraying with my bottle, because I make a mess and I probably shouldn't do it at my desk when I do it. But I might maybe paint that dot a little bit more too, because I liked that dot there. Maybe not. Maybe just keep it hidden. It could be a little secret. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it's looking like there's little white spots there, so I think that's fine and dandy, right? Right there too. And then that one there, I think that was just a function of the brush. You know, my brush is a little tattered, so I think it was just a function of the brush splitting at the end of the stroke, so I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that spot. And you know, I was thinking about adding some scribbles. I did another one a little while ago. I don't think it's done yet, but I have these scribbles here as an element. And I was going to do that here, but I think that would be a little bit too much in light of what we've got going on. I might add a few little lines to kind of make it lighten up the background a little bit and make it look a little bit blended. But otherwise, I think we're done. I think we're done, mostly. Add a little white there. I just messed that up with my dirty finger, I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I really need to do a whole lot more. What do you think? I think I should just call it and be done. Don't you think? I think that would be a good idea. Alrighty, well, I'm going to just call it right here. I'm going to call this done. I believe we are here on the planet Earth to live, grow up, and do what we can to make this world a better place for all people to enjoy freedom. Rosa Parks. Alrighty, well, I hope you have a good rest of the night. I might start another painting. Who knows? I did that one pretty quickly. So, yeah, have a good rest of the night. Stay tuned for my next video. I'll probably do a longer painting on the weekend in a few days on a bigger canvas. You know, I need to get some larger canvases. I ran out of my big wall. I ran out of my big roll of canvas that I pin up to the wall to paint. I ran that out of that, and I don't have any larger canvases other than 2 by 2 feet. So I need to get some more. But maybe we'll do one of those 2 by 2s for the weekend. And otherwise, you have a good rest of the night and have a good rest of your week. And be sure to pick up your brush and do some painting this week for sure. I mean, it's definitely need to keep that creative flow energized and going. And I want to see what you make too. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Also, if you don't mind, just make sure, if you haven't already liked this video, please do that. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, I don't post that often, so you're not going to get bombarded with notifications, but I would love it if you subscribed, and then you can see my other videos as I post them. And if you have any comments for me, share those, and I'll be glad to read those and get back to you if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a good rest of the week and have a good rest of the night. Bye-bye.